My name is Delise Kelly, and today we are going to discuss security. And one of the best security companies locally here in Southern California. Okay, we got Noel Jones Jr. or Noel Jones II, and we've got Leonard Richardson. They are the CEOs of Argus Protection Group. How you guys doing today?
Doing good, Darlene. Doing good.
Doing great, doing great. He's the CEO. Let me make that clear. He's the CEO. I'm the CFO.
Okay.
And together, I think we make a great team.
And we'll discuss the dynamics and kind of what you oversee and what Leonard oversees. But let's just go ahead and kick it off with, tell us a little bit about Argus Protection Group. Okay, give us some background and let us know your industry experience. How'd you guys put this security company together?
All right. You know what? Let me start. I met this guy. We were together. I was an administrator of a church. He was doing security at that church. But what I didn't realize was over the years we worked together, he was getting unbelievable amounts of experience in the security business, especially in the club business, the nightlife business, where he had to be on it all the time with proper technique, with proper discipline, and a real high level knowledge of the industry. And that's what he gained over that time. The way I got into the business was my father invested in a security company back in the middle 2000s. And that company was up and down. He invested in it because it was growing, actually. There were some issues with the owner who brought him in as an investor. And through about 3 or 4 years, business boomed, business cratered. And I learned a whole lot on the back end about how to run an operation, not just security, but a business in general in terms of HR, in terms of following the laws, in terms of following the regulations and taking care of employees. But in the end, that business cratered, and my father decided with another investor to open Urban Protective Services. And that business jumped off to a really rocketing start. And I was involved with that from the very beginning. So it was a great learning experience, and I saw how to do things well. But on the backside, the guys that were actually running the company showed me how to do things really poorly too, especially as it related to employee training, to dealing with the employees from an HR perspective. So if I'm going to go on, I got with Leonard. At this time, he was the top guy in one of the biggest nightlife organizations in this city, Los Angeles. And we looked at Urban. He had done some things for Urban from a director of operations perspective.
Okay. So Leonard, what drew you into the line of security? And then you guys put this together.
I got drew in through, like he said, through a church where he was employed. And at first I wasn't interested. And of course, like when you always get into things, you don't want to do it. And then I got interested. I started going to school. I learned different things. And actually, let's set the record straight. We actually started talking because the Lakers.
Congratulations, Laker fans.
Right.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
Fan, and I'm a Laker fan, and we used to
the Spurs, man. We're struggling. Yeah, absolutely. That's
how we got.
That's how we bonded.
That's how we bonded.
No doubt.
And we went from there, and it's been great. I learned a lot of things, got with SBE, and they taught me a lot of great things on security, procedures, policies, professionalism, and so I took that. He was telling me about the company that his father had, which was Urban Protective Services, and then I was like, okay, let's do it. We can do this. I can turn this thing around on the operation side, and that's what I'm a specialist in, operation.
Okay.
And we went there, and that's boom. This is where we at right now.
All right. So how long have you guys been in operations? And can you tell us a little bit about your security California licensing credentials?
Yeah, that was a lot of studying, trust me, a lot of headaches. I obtained a PPO. Noah told me, say, you can do it, because I didn't want to do it. I was like, you do it. He was like, no, you can do it, man. And got into the books. California is just strict on everything,
Yeah,
especially
it
when
is.
it comes to licensing. I had to read all these books, codes. Um, and I passed the test at
97%.
97% in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Everybody else was still there. I was done.
You know, Leonard's background, especially at SBE, he would tell me about the trainings they have to
Yeah.
go through.
Yeah.
They would bring a guy in from New York
Right.
to do security host training.
Yeah.
I mean, deep, serious stuff, not just on taking people down. That was the least of it.
Yeah.
It was de-escalation. It was diversity.
Right.
And that's why we bring that same ethic and that same training to Argus. That's he has shown me that if you don't have the proper training, things are going to go awry.
Right.
The employees need to, and it's a continual thing. The thing I've learned over the years is supervision and training. You put those two things together, and one of the things, and the reason I jump is, one of the things we said we were going to do, we wanted to hire people, and we wanted to hire all people. We wanted to hire, of course.
Provide that opportunity for the community.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And we want people with experience. We want people who love this job.
Right.
But for a lot of people, this job is a stepping stone to something else.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they can't be the best at what they do in the time that they're doing security.
Right.
So we try to put them in position to succeed, no matter what their background is. Of course, you have to finish high school, but even people in California, a lot of people in California, they finish high school with less than the skills they need. Yeah. We try to help them with that. If we see something in you, we'll bring you on and we will train you and we will help you to be the best you can on the site. Mm-hmm. It doesn't always work.
Right.
It doesn't always work, but that is our ethic. We are in here to make people's lives better. Sometimes we've had multiple employees who have gotten opportunities to go on in security and other things. We give them, if they've done well with us, we give them great referrals because we want people to succeed.
Right. So can you guys discuss some of your clients now that you're currently serving and some of those industries so people kind of get an idea of what it is that we do and who we service?
Well, we right now we are on one of Jonathan Frank's properties in Pasadena, the
Antique Center.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have that center going. We just did another project for Jim Flower over in Malibu at his home over there.
So we're talking about estate security.
No, it's residential security.
Okay, so that was residential estate. Residential security, private protection. It sounds like you said a retail property, a retail center.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
We also have contracts with TGI Fridays.
Yes.
We've pulled back a little bit with them, or they've pulled back because of COVID-19. That's why we're sitting 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
I hope everybody recognizes that and we don't have our mask on, but we're 6 feet apart. Yeah. I'm going to kick him out within 15 minutes because I need to catch this thing. But we're serious about that. We're serious with our guards about PPE as well, just as an aside. But yeah, we're with TGI Fridays. We have a client that does industrial warehouse type of things from the side of really closing down businesses, and we're expecting that for that business to rise, but that's an HR thing. So our guards are there for helping management to let people go without problems, to watch warehousing facilities, to watch merchandise, things of that nature.
Closeouts.
Closeouts, exactly.
Closeouts.
And you know what I like, one thing that you guys do, and I was there on the Pasadena site and had a chance to meet some of your guards and see what they do. Oh, it says our meeting will end in 10 minutes. So we're gonna have to we'll speed it up, and then we'll have to save whatever for our part 2, because I really want to do this. I think it's very important that the voice of the security industry is heard. And I think you guys have a great voice for the industry. And there's been a lot of things that transpired in the news media as of late about companies that aren't putting guards. They're putting guards on site that aren't credentialed and properly, they don't have the proper licenses, and they can get into big trouble with that. But one thing I want to say is GuardTrax. That was really interesting to see that, to ensure the client that the facility is being monitored like it should. You guys have these little touch points where the guards have to actually come and scan. Can you tell us a little bit about GuardTrax?
Well, GuardTrax is like a supervisor, electronically supervisor. That's what it is.
Okay.
I can go online right now. I can tell you exactly where my guard is out there. I can also check my emails and say if he hit his points or she hit her points on time. I can tell you if she's standing still too long, no motion.
To ensure they're doing their job. Yeah, to ensure they're doing their job and adequately servicing our clients. So we have technology in place to ensure that we can, let our customer know we're doing our job.
And that's the industry is getting into digital and equipment that, we have to keep up. It's getting expensive. We're getting a little expensive because technology is moving ahead. Just like what you've seen out there, our clients seen the same thing. Our client can go log on. They can see where they go to work, and if anything have a broken window, he gets it in real time, just like I get it in real time. He knows exactly the problem. He ain't got to wait for someone to call or wait for paperwork to come through. He see it in real time, and I think that's what we are executing right now, is that information for our client instead of our client is guessing what's going on.
Right.
Actually getting the information provided real time. What's the GPS and everything?
Yeah. Real time GPS.
I like it. Fast forward. That's real technologically savvy, and it's good to see an African American owned company that is ahead of the game right now when it comes to security. We're on the top.
We're looking at robots now. We kind of looking at that era right now. We are actually looking into that. I'm a big fan of technology, and I'm like, no, let's look into it. Let's do it.
I have no problem with it. In fact, another thing we're looking into is more video surveillance and being able to marry video surveillance with boots on the ground, with guards on site. And the reason that is because the main thing, one of the things we need to do always is look to bring value to our clients. Look to bring that level of protection that they need and keep it where they need it to be. Not too much, not too little, keep it where they need it to be, but at a price point that they can afford. And especially in this COVID environment with this mini recession, which who knows how long it's going to be, we are trying to find any technology or any technique that will bring that type of value. But again, the two things that always bring value, training and supervision. GuardTrax is another layer of supervision, digital, but we're out on the sites as well. Training, we're in our conference room. This is where the training happens. We have seats for about 20 people. Usually it's standing room only in here. And one of the pieces that we failed to mention, and when I say standing room only, is events. And the reason we failed to mention events is because events died on the vine back in March when everything was shut down. They'll be back, but we've done Coachella. We've done a lot of things at the Shrine here in Los Angeles.
State Fair, the Los Angeles State Fair,
LizCon down in Orange County. We've done
Coachella.
Oh, yeah. So that's
concerts, events, construction sites. It doesn't
comedy shows.
we're the smaller company, but we are out there hitting hard. We are.
Amen.
We trying to climb up that ladder. We have a lot of big corporate companies that's they gobbling up everything, but we're hanging in there. We're one of the few companies that's actually hanging in. I was just telling him the other day that I was like, man, we surviving this thing.
Absolutely.
Everybody else done closed down. All my other friends that had security companies, they just shut it down. They can't handle it, but we are still here.
Well, I did want to say that you guys touched a little bit on the pandemic. Guards are on the front line. Security guards are essential workers. For the sake of time, and we're just gonna have to keep doing these little series. So this is gonna be our security series, okay? And thank you guys for letting me host this with you. But what can our clients and businesses that hire us, what can they look to expect? Because I know you guys said there's some big companies out there, but as a more boutique security firm, what can our clients expect?
My face is gonna be the first face they're gonna see, because I'm gonna come out and assess the property and make sure. I got to look out for the guard as well. I can't put the guard in danger, just because the client said, "Oh, nothing never happens here," and we went through that before. Well, nothing ever happened. We put the guard out there. The guard get chased around the place. So, well, you didn't tell me about that only happens every once in a while, So right. You will be expected for me to come out, do assessment, and get some background of the property. And then once that, I will tailor-made a guard out there for you. There's not going to be any guard. There'll be a guard for that location.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to go a little aggressive. Sometimes you need to go mild. Sometimes you just need another layer of security host. Right. Someone that's going to get the glasses off the tables and help out a little bit, but still
Absolutely.
have security vision going on.
Yeah.
One thing about it, we have a PPO, we have our insurance. We're not going to sub our company out to no one else unless we talk to the client. And that's the problem. A lot of companies are hiring companies, but these companies have so much on their plate. They'll sublease another company, and they don't know the background of that other company. Do they guys have guard cars? Have they been going through training? And that seems to be the problem with all the stuff you've seen in the media. It's always come back to someone sub something to someone.
Right.
But we don't do that. We try to have all our credentials in place, and we send everything over to the client, and we go from there.
So when they hire Argus, they know that we have our credentials. We are certified with the state of California. Our guards have been properly trained, and they also have their credentials and what they need when they're on their site.
Exactly right. They'll be supervised very well. The guards will be trained before they get on the site and while they're on the site. And given that we are a small, like you said, boutique security company, you're going to have direct interaction with Leonard on a regular basis. You're going to have interaction with me from a business perspective on a regular basis. You won't have to go through middlemen. We will be Johnny on the spot for any issues. We'll be Johnny on the spot with recommendations. If we can find value, we found value for Pasadena. We came in under a contract, which we needed in terms of at a certain price point, because they were having a very difficult time. It's unbelievable, but Pasadena's crime rate has exploded in terms of property crime and other things. And it's emblematic of the indigent population here in California too. That's really driving a lot of this. But we came in at a price point because we had to go hard in the paint. When we brought the situation down under control, and it's still, nothing's completely under control, but we brought the situation down a bit, we were able to bring the price point down a little bit. Again, bringing value to our clients. We did that without prompting. We did that because we knew it was the right thing to do.
All right. Well, look, guys, for the sake of time, we're out of time. We're going to have to save this for the part 2 conversation. There's so much to talk about. How can they reach you guys?
You can reach us go on the website at www.argusprotectiongroup.com.